Welcome to the Main Slate Mashup CASH edition, hosted by season-long DFS. I'm your host, Jamie. You might recognise me or recognise my voice. And I'm joined by Rich. Rich, how are you?
I'm good. That intro sounded a little bit rapey, but no, I'm good. Other than having to prepare myself.
Can you describe rapey?
It just sounded a bit like you might recognise my voice from the bushes outside your house. That's the vibe that I was kind of getting. So
do you know what? That's good because that's exactly the kind of what I was trying to portray. So my acting skills and my vocal skills are doing well. So yeah.
Oh, there you go then. Perfect.
I won't be in the bushes. I'll be behind the bins.
Good to know. I'll check in future. No, I'm good. Cold weather's really starting to come in, which is I'm sure it's affecting you. It affected me. I had to turn the heating on. So that was tough today.
Yeah, I have my woolly hat on at work, and to be fair, the heating is on. And for the first time in probably nearly 6 months, I've just turned both underfloor heatings on in the kitchen diner.
Someone's made of money turning the underfloor heating on.
Well, my excuse was I just wanted to make sure it still worked.
Right. Okay. Got it.
Even though it's electric, so it was going to work. But
yeah, she won't know. It's fine. Yeah, no, I'm good. Pleased to get on and let's talk about the cash game. I think there's a little bit of players that I'm just in on this week, so it'll be interesting when we get into the picks as to the differences. But
Rich has got his boys.
I do have my boys, one of which is, spoiler alert, is Logan Thomas.
Shock, horror.
Yeah, just I feel a bit like I've betrayed Keenan Allen to a degree.
And Justin Herbert. That was my next thing I was going to say. I feel like we haven't had the Herbert Allen stack, and I feel like that you're going to get a phone call fairly soon, mate. Like,
yeah, I think I'll just get one of those.
Rich,
like,
what's happening? I thought we were solid.
I think it'll be one of those where you get the on Facebook, like you okay, hun? That's what I'm waiting for.
And then a question mark about 25 minutes later.
You okay, hun? DM me.
Yeah, but I don't know if Facebook does this. Do they have like a read receipt on Facebook?
No idea, mate. Ask Zuckerberg. He'll know.
I don't know. But let's say they WhatsApp you instead, and you've read the message, and they can see it's been read, and you just don't reply.
All right, let's not peel behind the curtain. Talk about how you and me converse, because I know that you message me a lot, and I just go, "Nah, it's Jamie. I'll just reply later," and then don't. Okay, I'm very sorry about it. There's no need to make it public. Okay, Jamie.
I wasn't even going down that route.
Well, so. Felt like you were, and I'm sure the listeners will agree.
Rich has got his claws out.
I do. I had a beer earlier.
Oh my god!
I'm smashed up, mate. That's what it is.
Maybe. Where can we find you on the socials?
So you can find us at kfantasy_sports wherever we have social. And no, I still don't have a TikTok. And the website is kingfantasysports.com.
Cool. Rich, but TikTok's for the cool kids.
That's why I don't have it.
Yeah.
I'm not cool enough.
I think you're just a little bit too old like me.
I don't think you can really share spreadsheets on it, so I'm not interested.
I'm sure you could. You could username boring TikTok or whatever, and you could just put spreadsheets.
Could do.
You never know. It might be like the new fad. People might be like, "Oh, he's so cool. Just put spreadsheets up and not care."
Yeah, YOLO.
You can find me on Twitter at Jamie_Byrom_ BYROM and at seasonlong DFS. I don't have Facebook. well, I think I've probably still got it, but I haven't logged in probably about 5 years. I haven't got TikTok. Well, I don't think I've got a TikTok. Plus I'm too old, and I'm just not cool. I'm a Falcons fan. We're not cool.
No, yeah.
Neither are Packers fans.
Okay, let's get into the show, Jamie.
All right, let's get on with our cash lineups. Rich, let's start us off with the quarterback.
I've gone Taylor Heineke again.
Oh, God.
I cannot really see a quarterback that kind of gives me the same level of what I deem as security for that same price, like 5,900. It's a really nice price.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
So, and like in cash, I don't have to worry about the ownership. So yeah, that's the guy.
Yeah. Just for anyone who hasn't seen the GPP edition, that is the same quarterback as Rich has got for his GPP lineup. So I'm going to count how many are similar, because Rich, as we all know, this week Rich has got his boys.
I'm a creature of habit, so
you like what you know, and you know what you like, mate.
That's it.
You like what you know, and you know what you like. My quarterback is on the other side of the ball. I've got Matt Ryan. Yes, the Falcons offense has looked not like the normal Falcons offense that we're used to seeing like last year. Yes, Arthur Smith seems to be turning Matt Ryan into Alex Smith. But the Washington pass defense has been horrendous for the first 3 weeks of the season. Ryan, I think Ryan's very, very solid. I don't think you're ever going to get a horrendous game. So for me, I think kind of going up against the Redskins. Oh God, I did it. I called them the R word. Oh, the Washington football team defense. I think it's a fairly safe play, and he's cheaper than Taylor Heineke. So
yeah, he was a consideration for me.
Yeah.
The thing that I'm worried about with Ryan is I can see that world. You know, you think it's a slam dunk, and then he starts off with like 2 interceptions, and the wheels come off, and you go, "This was a stupid thing. Why did I do this?"
I can totally understand. I don't think that Ryan's a slam dunk, and he can throw 2 interceptions all he wants. That's -2 points.
What I mean is when he throws them early, as a guy who's owned him in a couple of leagues where I've been like, there's no way this won't pan out. You know, when he gets those early interceptions, like his confidence just absolutely saps from him, and you just start making poor decisions left, right, and centre. So
the problem with Ryan is he doesn't trust the O-line, and
quite rightly,
and you really cannot blame him, because the O-line has been a turnstile, basically.
Optional.
Yes. But the volume is there for him. Week 1, 35 attempts. Week 2, 46. Week 3, 36. So we're not running the ball. We're still passing the ball. It's just very dink and dunky. So I'm not expecting, if I can get 18 to 20 points out of Matt Ryan this week, I'm happy.
The volume is 100% there. I have no doubts about that. So yeah, I don't mind it. I just I'm not as solid as you are on the security of it.
This is what's good. We're not yes men. Oh, I really love your pick. It's amazing. Yeah. No, I hate your pick. It's shit.
I won't get that far, but yeah,
It's close. All right, mate. What quarterbacks you interested in this week that missed out on your lineup?
So there was, as I said, I did have consideration for Ryan. Another consideration for me was Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with that. He was my second choice.
And I did also consider Josh Allen, but as I mentioned in the GBP show, the price is quite high, and I don't know how much of the goal line work you'll actually get to see. But
yeah, no, that's fair. Stafford 7,000 going up against the Cardinals. Their defense, I'm going to repeat what I've said the last 2 weeks and 4 shows, whatever it will be. I don't think it's as good as how it's played. The Rams offense is purring, absolutely purring. He's got 9 touchdowns in 3 games, 1 interception. He's 7,000. It's a nice price. Allen, who you mentioned, is 8,000 going up against the Texans. You know what, someone else I was considering was Sam Darnold.
Okay.
6,000 going up against Dallas. Yes, Dan Quinn has made the Dallas D look better. He definitely seems to be enjoying not being a head coach. He didn't do a very good job of that at the back end of his the Falcons tenure. But Darnold has played he's played solid. 20 points, 22 points, and 28 points last 3 games. Yes, they were against New Jersey, the New York Jets at 20 points in week 1, the Texans 28 points last week. And against a good New Orleans defense, he scored 22 points. But that week they weren't very good because they were missing defensive players. I had COVID. The defensive coaches and some offensive coaches had COVID as well. So I think he's solid. I think this Cowboys offense will put points on the Panthers defense, even though they played well. So I think might have to potentially play catch up. And without CMC, I think Donald's going to have to probably try and air it out a bit more. So 6,000 was a consideration, but I prefer Stafford at 7 personally. Who's your running back 1, buddy?
Milk float, Derrick Henry.
Yep. Agreed.
I can't see a more slam dunk opportunity. The Jets look like they're really good against the pass. The truth of the matter is they're just really, really bad at defending the ground game. And this is a game where Derrick Henry is going to, I assume, attempt to set some type of single game rushing record. I don't know what the single game rushing record is, but I'd imagine that Derrick Henry has it in his sights. This Jets defense is not going to be ready for him.
Well, and potentially he might basically be their only real proper weapon.
Yeah, I saw Julio didn't train. The thing with Julio is
he doesn't.
Really difficult.
You don't need to worry.
That's the thing. It's really difficult to know if that's something you should be worried about or not, because he doesn't train when he plays, and anyway. So don't know, but yeah, that's kind of where I am with those guys.
Derrick Henry was my running back 1 as well. 8,800 going up against the Jets. DraftKings have, let's have a look at the Jets are allowing 110 rushing yards a game. So I suspect Derrick Henry could possibly get that in the first half.
That's what I mean. He's going to be targeting to set some type of single game rushing record. And I don't know what it would be in NFL history. I imagine it's going to be massive because it'll be dating back
40.
It'll be dating back seasons to when they just ran the ball all of every single play. But
I'm about to have a look. 296 yards. Adrian Peterson set the single game rushing record of 296 yards and 3 touchdowns against the Chargers on November 4th, 2007.
Okay, so I don't think he gets up to that, but he is going to be trying as hard as he can.
But I think we can both agree he is the chalk that we are happy to eat.
You don't have to worry about chalk.
But you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know.
I worded it incorrectly, but
Yeah.
He's going to be popular, but it doesn't matter because, yeah. Who's your running back 2 then? Because obviously Henry's my running back 1. Who's your running back 2?
I had Chris Carson.
I looked at Carson.
I wanted with it being cash, I wanted another running back who I could feel really good about in my lineup. And Chris Carson is that guy. He's overlooked in season-long competitions. Constantly, every single season.
He's so underrated.
Every single season, he does well. So against the 49ers, who have struggled against the position, it just seemed like a no-brainer for me. So whack him in. And I know my RB position is pretty solid.
He's 6,300.
Yeah.
Oh, I do like Chris Carson. I'm a massive fan and have been since he got into the NFL. My running back 2 is I've gone with Najee Harris.
Steelers' leading receiver.
Yeah. Best receiver. Yeah.
Only receiver.
I'm not going to say I'm expecting 19 targets again this week, but most likely without Deontay and Juju, he's probably he's their best receiving weapon. I think it's pretty clear to see and for everyone that the Steelers will be playing from behind against the Packers because their defense looked good in week 1. But I think last week without TJ Watt, they had 0 pressures on the quarterback.
Yeah, I was going to say,
that's not Steelers.
I'm not sure on his status for the game, but that is massive.
Yeah, it's big. He's 6,800 going against the Packers. So he had 90 targets last week, 5 targets in week 2. I'm not expecting to get much on the ground from him, mainly because the Steelers O-line has been, it's garbage. It just hasn't looked good and hasn't been good for quite a long time. Packers against the run, mate, remind me what they're like.
They've always struggled historically, and I feel like they're not great now, but I will look it up.
DK is saying they're allowing 115 yards a game on the ground.
I mean,
I would be mightily shocked if Najee Harris got near that on the ground, personally.
DK points, they are...
I think they're middle of the pack.
Yeah, they are 24.1, and they look to be about middle of the pack.
Yeah, I think Najee is safe in his volume. He's going to see pretty much all of the running back touches, and he's going to see a lot of work out of the backfield as well. So, 6,800. I'm pairing Henry with Najee. What other running backs were you considering?
A couple of guys interesting to think about. So, like Ezekiel Elliott, with the volume that he'll get. I know Carolina they're good against the running back position. So
I think they're like their defensive rankings is 1 across the board or something.
They are the best against the position. They've only given up 7.6 DK points to the position. Yeah. Saying that, like you look at the teams that they faced, Jets week 1, the Saints week 2, where the Saints offense just looked awful, and Houston. So it's not like they've really had to face a good, a really solid running back with a offense that was actually firing. So it could be slightly misleading. With the volume that he'll get anyway in this offense, I think, he's a fine play. I also considered Antonio Gibson briefly.
Didn't practice today, I don't think.
I didn't look, but he was 6,100. I think he should get enough carries, and if they start actually involving him in the passing game, which would be nice, and everyone kind of thinks that they should, then he could have a good game against Atlanta.
Yeah, he's a non-participant in Thursday practice due to a shin injury. Gibson's making a sudden appearance Wednesday's injury report after avoiding it on Wednesday. So yeah, he's on the injury report with a shin injury. So
he's got another leg, doesn't he? So he'll probably be fine.
He should probably be fine. I've just had seen something come up on my phone that Deontay Johnson has practiced in full today. So that could potentially hamper a little bit of Najee, but it's good for the Steelers. Getting Deontay back.
I actually don't think it would, because I actually think what would happen is you'd see Alexander, the only effective covering option that we have, covering Deontay. So
would he cover Deontay, or would they cover a bigger body receiver in Claypool?
I think you'd have to cover the better threat, which is
Deontay Johnson by some way. Yeah. So Gibson and Elliott. Anyone else?
Not really. No.
I considered David Montgomery, 5,800 going up against the Lions for the Bears. I suspect that we won't see Justin Fields starting this week. I reckon I've just got this gut feeling it's going to be Nick Foles. I don't know why. I just think it's going to be Nick Foles.
Big Dick Nick.
Yeah, Big Dick Nick. And having a bit more of a solid pocket passing quarterback is probably going to help Montgomery, I think, than someone like Fields right now. Going up against the Lions, yeah, the Lions can be run on. So, and if Nagy's got any brains, which I think we can all agree he doesn't, so we're hoping maybe he finds one or two brain cells, he'll get the ball in Montgomery's hands, because Montgomery's looked pretty good when he's been given the opportunities this year. And the other one was Cordero Patterson, 4,900 for the Falcons against the Redskins. Patterson has been a big surprise, let's put it that way. But for the last couple of weeks, we've been saying he is a thing. 23.9 points and then 16.2 points in the last 2 weeks. 7 targets both games, and seen 7 rushing attempts. So he's probably going to see touch the ball anywhere from about 12 to 15, 16 times. So you're not getting huge amounts of volume, but when he touches the ball, he does something with it, which is positive. So 4,900, and you're hoping for 15 odd points. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So yeah, he was another one I considered. Who's your your wide receiver one?
My wide receiver, I obviously had to pay down. So my wide receiver, my first wide receiver is Terry McLaurin.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, that's the same stack, triple stack that I used, because I mentioned I selected Logan Thomas. Pretty much for the same reasons I mentioned in the GBP show. So if you haven't listened to that, then go back and have a look. But I'll just summarize it quickly now.
He's playing Falcons.
Yeah, and the Washington Falcons as well. Literally goes through Terry McLaurin and Logan Thomas. So we're going up against a bad defense, and I've got the two weapons that the entire offense flows through. Yeah. So let's go.
All right, my wide receiver one is on the other side of the ball. I'm stacking Calvin Ridley with Matt Ryan. Ridley has been, I think the only word to say is disappointing from kind of what everyone expected of him to start the season. 10 points, 19 points, 14 points. He's seen the targets. 8 targets in week 1, 10 in week 2, and 11 in week 3. I think it's probably going to be 10 plus again this week. I see a lot of people saying, "Oh, is Ridley? Can he be a wide receiver one because Julio's not there? Can he do it?" Well, yeah, he did it last year, at the back end of the year, and during the season when Julio wasn't there, he went absolutely batshit mental. So I've still got to trust in Ridley. I'm hoping that the Falcons offense can air it out a little bit more. But yeah, I think the obvious stack for me with Matt Ryan was Ridley. He's 7,000. So yeah, going up against Washington. I like it. Who's your wide receiver 2, buddy?
I've gone for Cole Beasley. Buffalo slot receiver. I think his role in that offense is pretty secure. He's the slot guy, so it should mean plenty of targets going towards him. And the way that the team have been operating in the red zone last couple of weeks, which you can, if you want to have a look at the red zone usage, then we've got a tool at kingfantasysports.com where you can where you can look at the usage in the last couple of games and see like the percentage of the touches that any individual player is having. He is the red zone weapon for that offense outside of Josh Allen, and the way this game is likely to go, there's going to be a lot of red zone trips. So the price is pretty solid as well, 5,400.
Yeah. No, I like it. I've got Beasley in my spoiler nut GPP lineup. So 30 targets in 3 weeks. You've got to love that, especially going up against the Texans. My wide receiver 2 is one of my favourites, Tim Patrick. 4,900 going up against the Ravens, playing at home at Mile High. Hamler's out for the season. Jerry Judy's on IR as well. It's basically Tim Patrick, Cortland Sutton, Noah Fant, and Albert O. They're the 3, maybe 4 main guys that Bridgewater's going to target. Last couple of weeks, back end of last season, Patrick solidified himself as, I think the word is, a very solid wide receiver. Didn't drop the ball once. This season, he's again been solid. 13 points, 12 points, 14 points, weeks 1, 2, and 3. Hasn't seen a huge amount of targets, 4 targets, 4 targets, 5 targets. They're going up against Baltimore, who DraftKings are telling me have got the 30th ranked passing defense, allowing 314 yards a game. Rich, can you remind me, when check it up on your computer, who Baltimore have played so far this season?
They've played the Raiders, Chiefs, and Detroit.
Okay, so I could remember the Chiefs, but I couldn't think who they played in week 1. So they're allowing 314 yards a game. I don't think you're gonna have a huge amount of success running the ball on the Ravens. So I think Bridgewater's gonna have to air it out. Patrick's just a solid pair of hands. Throw the ball his way, he's more than likely going to catch it. So yeah, 4,900. I love the price. I really do. I think he's going to be popular in GPP and cash, but either way, give me some Timbo Patrick all day long. Who's your wide receiver 3, mate?
Terrence Marshall.
Price?
4,000. Go up against Dallas. He'll get probably the 3rd corner defensive back. He's been on the field a decent chunk, and with the kind of cover that he'll get, I think he'll have a decent chance of having a good game. As you alluded to earlier with Sam Darnold, this Dallas defense isn't all that good. At times they can have lapses in judgment, and facing the 3rd cornerback in that unit, I think that Marshall should have a good game.
Who's the Dallas DB? The really good, the young one. I know this is really, he's looked really good.
Well, yeah, I mean,
but he won't be on
his brother.
Yeah, exactly. he's looked very, very improved. Let's put it that way. I think they've got a good one there. Yeah, I quite like the Terrace Marshall, but I looked at Marshall, and then I kind of decided I preferred DJ Moore. So I've gone with DJ Moore. 6,600 for the Panthers going up against the Cowboys. DJ Moore he's looked the real deal. He's looked really, really good through 3 games. He's seen 31 targets. He got the 1 touchdown. It's a big it's as if DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson have switched roles from last year. Because DJ Moore was a bit disappointing. Robbie Anderson was seeing all of the targets, and it's a total opposite. Yeah, this game, I think they're going to be points. You're going to want a wide receiver of either one of these teams, if not bring one back from the other side as well. So he's looked quite electric. Let's put it that way. I wasn't a huge fan of DJ Moore. I'll be brutally honest. He's winning me over, and it's all because of Sam Darnold.
There's probably a sentence you never thought you'd say.
Yeah, weird. I might have to go and wash myself after this. Oof. What wide receivers did you consider? Other ones?
Considered Corey Davis, 5,000.
Because of targets.
Because targets and Tennessee's defense isn't all that great.
Not this is quarterback at the moment.
That's the reason why I didn't ultimately go for him.
I want them to do well, but
yeah,
it's a hard learning curve, isn't it?
I also considered Robert Woods because I think he'll get a game at some point soon. But
what's his price?
It's 5,300. Now the reason why I didn't go for him is just because in a cash lineup, I'm either going to be embracing the variance and paying down, or thinking like, okay, this is going to be the slam dunk game that he's going to return to form, and I don't know that.
No. It's interesting that he's 2,500 cheaper than Cooper Kupp. That's quite that's quite a difference that I don't think anyone would have seen or predicted last year.
Not at this stage of the season, certainly.
No. Anybody else?
No, that was it for me.
I consider Cooper Kupp 7,800. It's pricey, but the boy's on fire. I think he's very, very solid. Adam Thielen 6,800 going up against the Browns. He's going to get a touchdown. It's what Adam Thielen does. The Browns defense is good, but the Vikings offense, and specifically Kirk Cousins, has looked it's looked impressive to start the season. Are they 1 and 2?
Yeah, I'm not sure what their record is, but
they could have easily won every game.
I actually wrote up about Kirk Cousins as a start in I do like a weekly start sits column, and Kirk Cousins as a start for me. He was a start for me last week as well, and I guess to me he feels like like a tuna and cucumber sandwich,
like egg cress.
Yeah, like you're not excited about it, but like it'll do its job.
Yeah.
But actually, I said in that article that actually it feels to me more that it's maybe a tuna cucumber with like a dash of sriracha in it now.
I was going to say some kind of fancy little sauce or dressing with it.
Yeah, just something a little bit spicy. So yeah, that's kind of how I'm starting to feel more and more confident with Kirk Cousins. Well, I'm more excited to have him in my lineups, I should say.
Yeah, I agreed, mate. Agreed. I considered OBJ 5,800 on the other side of the ball for the Browns going up against the Vikings. He looked good last week. So a good target share. Vikings defense, I had high hopes for. Hasn't been as good as I thought it would be. And also Cole Beasley 5,400 going up against the Texans for the Bills. For every reason that we spoke about in the GPP show, and for every reason that you mentioned why he's in your lineup in the cash. Who's your tight end, mate?
Logan Thomas, mentioned it earlier.
Obviously.
As I mentioned with the Terry McLaurin pick, this offense goes through Logan Thomas and Terry McLaurin. So being able to fit both of them in my lineup is fantastic. Logan Thomas has been on the field an unhealthy amount of time. I think he might actually be the only tight end in the league who's been on the field for every offensive snap.
That's ridiculous.
So yeah, and the way that they use him, he gets targets and he gets red zone looks. So what more can you ask for? The price of 4,900 as well makes it pretty tasty.
Nice triple stack.
Yeah.
Nice triple stack. My tight end, you're probably not going to like. It's Mr. Mike Gesicki. No, you're not a fan. 4,000 for the Dolphins going up against the Colts. Basically, the same reasoning why I talked about him in the GPP show. While Jacoby Brissett is the quarterback, Mike Gesicki is going to see the ball. 12 targets last week, 10 receptions. Yeah, I looked at more expensive ones, but I kind of feel Gesicki's got quite a safe floor with Brissett. The Colts defense, if you've seen the injury report for the Colts today, or the training report of people missing practice?
I haven't, but I imagine it's quite lengthy.
Oh my God, it's
a scroller, I imagine.
Oh mate, it's horrendous. I'm literally going to try and find it and tell you now. But yeah, it was just did not practice. Colts.
Like Nelson's injury looked quite nasty, with him needing to be carted off the field, not even able to power off with under his own steam. Never a good sign. No. Yeah, I know that. Yeah, it would be quite lengthy, I imagine.
All right, here we go. The Colts. He's got some offensive stuff. Jack Doyle did not practice. Eric Fisher did not practice. Darius Leonard did not practice. Quentin Nelson did not practice. Quitty Pay did not practice. Braden Smith, a tackle, did not practice. Kari Willis, a safety, did not practice. Offensive tackle Antoine Woods did not practice. Rock Yassin did not practice. One of their guards, Mark Glowinski, limited. Jonathan Taylor, limited. Carson Wentz, limited. Yeah. Doesn't look good for the Colts, does it?
It kind of gets to a point where it's probably easier to say who did train.
Yeah.
Yeah. No one.
And someone's put here, fun fact, 47% of the Colts cap space is either on IR, PUP, or listed on the injury report. Ouch. So yeah, so the Colts defense might be slightly limited. By the sounds of it, the Colts team might be slightly limited. But yeah, Gesicki at 4,000 with Brissett quarterback, he's going to see the ball. What tight ends were you considering?
I didn't really consider that many, to be honest, because of the triple stack that I went with. I mean,
yeah.
If I really needed to, then George Kittle is a consideration against Seattle.
Yeah.
Always seems to have a bit of a decent game against them, so he was a consideration. Outside of that, Noah Fant, 4,300, just because he's effectively a receiver for that team. So those were the two that I would have considered, but for me it was kind of Logan Thomas. Click.
Just quickly, while you mentioned the 49ers, because I was thinking about the 49ers running backs. Would any of them tempt you this week going up against Seattle? Or are you concerned like me about I haven't got an absolute Scooby who's going to be fully healthy, who's going to be the lead?
That's the issue, right? So I'm in some like season-long leagues where I'm kind of having to take a punt at who it is going to be, but especially in cash, I'm just not going to risk it.
Yeah, I think it is a risk.
I don't want.
You don't need to
be. Yeah, there's other players that are available, and as you say, it's just it's one of those where you don't need to put them in your lineup. So why would you cause yourself the headache?
Agreed, mate. Agreed. Tight ends that I looked at Logan Thomas, 4,900 going up against the Falcons. Pat Frymuth, 3,100 gun up against the Packers, but the fact that Deontay Johnson looks like he's going to play, I think it pushes me a little bit off Frymuth, to be honest. The other one is Dawson Knox, 3,600 going up against the Texans. He's been quietly solid to start the season. 4 targets, 3 targets, and 5 targets in the last 3 games. 2 touchdowns in the last 2 games. Yeah, it's a passing offense. He's seeing an all right amount of targets, 4 or 5 a game, and you're hoping kind of for a touchdown at the price of around 3,600. So he scored 2 in the last 2 weeks. So going up against the Texans, I think is a nice play to kind of pay down.
Yeah.
Who's your flex?
Brandon Ayuk.
Oh.
Interesting,
Right.
because I said that I didn't really want to take risk, and Brandon Ayuk is anything other than taking a risk. He is just, yes, I've messed up the words there, but he is a risky play. 5,000. I think his usage is quite high if he's on the field. He saw his greatest share of snaps, and for me, I think I said it last week, I wanted to see him out on the field, and then I'd start feeling confident about putting him in. Yeah. So I saw him out on the field, and I'm putting him in.
Yeah, that's fair, mate. I like that. I do like that. I think kind of last week was a positive step for him. So at the price, it's quite nice. My flex is a bit of a risk as well, mate. I've gone with Marquez Callaway. Yeah, it's a little bit risky. All this preseason hype, we might call it, looked really good in preseason. In fact, to be fair, he didn't look too bad when he got the opportunity the back end of last year either, when he played last season. Week 1, 2 targets. Week 2, 4 targets. Week 3, 5 targets. But he got a touchdown, and they're going up against the New York Giants. So, yeah, I think this is for me. This is more risky than your Ayuk play. I think.
I'd agree. I'd agree.
But I think that the rest of my lineup is, I see it as really quite safe. So I want to get one kind of real boomy play.
You want to get a little bit of spice.
I do. Yeah, I do. I want a bit of that cayenne pepper. That's what I want. I want something. I think this is more for maybe not like a 50-50 where just finish the top 50% and you double your money. These will be for like I tend to enter a lot of $3 kind of single entry, 200-300 people who enter, and it's like the top 30 get paid. So, and you get paid out obviously more than double your money. And someone like a Callaway or an Ayuk could push you over into the money for me into cash. So yeah, 4,300. I looked at Olamide Zaccheaus for the Falcons at 41. But if for some reason I just got drawn to Marquez Callaway. James Winston playing against the Giants. The Giants defense isn't great, as we've seen. So yeah, It's risky, but I'm happy to play it in cash. Who's your defense?
Colts.
The Colts still your defense after what I've just told you.
They might not be. They are at the moment. That's the team that's in. That's what I've got in at the moment. We spoke about it on the GBP show, but just to bring the main reason, the bullet point reasons. Yeah. I started from the bottom and started scrolling up, and they were the first defense that I went, yeah, okay.
Yeah, we both got it in as our GBP defense. I might change that.
I might change it now.
Still looks horrendous.
Yeah, that doesn't fill me with confidence. But at the moment, that's the team I've got in.
Yeah. My defense is you need to continue to scroll down, mate. This was the thought that Justin Fields might play. I've gone with the Detroit Lions. Mainly because I thought Justin Fields might play. And do you know what? If Nick Foles plays, then
I think you need to insert the GIF of that's a bold strategy, Cotton. See if it pays off.
It is a bold strategy, but I'll be one thing with the Lions. The Lions, as an overall team, they have played really, really hard, and do you know what? They haven't looked horrendous.
That's true. I thought they'd be worse than they have.
I thought they'd be awful. But they've actually looked competitive.
I wouldn't go that far. They've not looked as bad as I thought they would. That's as far as I'll go.
All right. Then they nearly beat San Francisco and then nearly beat Baltimore. That's competitive. I'm not saying they should have, but they did. They got 4 sacks against Lamar Jackson, who's a mobile quarterback. Again, my thoughts about Justin Fields. 3 against Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, it's 2,200. When you get to the point of looking for defenses and you haven't got a lot of money left, it's, do I want to play the Detroit Lions against Justin Fields, Andy Dalton, or Nick Foles? Or do I want to play the Philadelphia defense against Patrick Mahomes? Do I want to play the Houston defense against Josh Allen? Or do I want to play the New York Jets defense against Derrick Henry? Detroit won that hands down.
Yeah, I mean, when you frame it like that, it makes sense.
Yeah, they're playing hard, and you might get lucky. They might get an interception or 2, but yeah. Were there any other defenses that were in consideration for you?
There weren't, but I'm probably going to have to pivot to a couple of thoughts now.
How much have you got left?
I don't have anything left, so I'm going to have to be paying down. So, oh God.
Cowboys?
I don't want to think about
Vikings?
it. I don't want to think about it. It makes me sad, so I refuse.
Okay. There was one other defense which I quite like the look of this week. I didn't have enough money for it, but I will find a team or 2 to put them in. That's the New Orleans Saints. Week 2, when they shit the bed against Carolina, lost 26-7. They're missing Lattimore. They're missing a couple of other defensive starters, and they still got 6 DK points. Everyone came back, including the coaches last week, and they got 23 interceptions, 2 sacks. I think the Saints defense is solid as is one of the most solid you're gonna find. And going up against the Giants and Danny Fumble Dimes, yeah, I'm not saying I'm happy to pay up for it, but I quite like it.
That's not fair to call him Danny Fumble. You know, sometimes he throws interceptions.
I know, but
yeah, he mixes it up. He turns the ball over, but he's just like, no, I'm not fumbling this one. This is going to be an interception. You're welcome.
You're welcome. You're welcome, guys.
I agree. I have the Saints as a must start. I have some leagues where they were actually unowned going into this week, and
No.
and I picked them up very quickly. Yeah, they even went through waivers and still unowned. So I was like, okay, thanks.
Cheers.
Yeah, thanks for letting me win.
Insert the gif of a monkey running up to the car and stealing the hubcap and running away.
Yeah, pretty much that. I was like, I don't even have to waste fab or anything on this. Fantastic. I just didn't think I'd get them, so
Yeah, no, neither did I.
So I just didn't even put in a bid. But then when they were there, I was like, hello.
Oh, it's always nice when it happens, mate. It's nice when it happens. Quickly run us through your team.
Okay, so my team is Tyler Heineke at quarterback. I have Derek Henry and Chris Carson as my running backs. Wide receivers are Terry McLaurin, Cole Beasley, and Terrence Marshall. Tight end is Logan Thomas. My flex is Brandon Ayuk, and my defense is currently the Colts.
But most likely to switch it.
Most likely will be switching it.
My team is Matt Ryan at quarterback, Najee Harris and Derek Henry at running back, Calvin Ridley, Tim Patrick, and DJ Moore at wide receiver, Mike Gesicki as my tight end, Marquez Callaway as my flex, and the Detroit Lions as my DST. I'm looking to get a win on the board against you, mate. I think I won week 1 in the cash. You've won the last 2 weeks. Stop being greedy.
Look, it's not my fault, yeah? Just come up to my level. I mean, let's not talk about the season-long DFS. Let's just not talk about that. I got massively hurt by AJ Brown and Brian Tannehill. So, yeah, I don't like talking about it. AJ Brown's injury, I was just like, okay, cool.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that message.
Yeah, I was just like, okay, cool. I'm done. All right.
I'm just having a look at the leaderboard. I'm just having a look at the leaderboard.
You have to keep scrolling to find me.
Yeah.
As a result of having AJ Brown in my lineup, who didn't last that long. Yeah, that felt good. It meant there was no pressure for me for the rest of the time on the slate though. So I was like, okay, cool. That's gone. Okay, sweet.
I'm interested to see when people start using their like double points wildcard week.
I'm kind of tempted to. I'm actually tempted, and I might use it.
I'm close.
I might use it this week, but it's nothing to do with. It's absolutely nothing to do with my confidence in my team, and it's absolutely everything to be the first person to have used it.
Remember, you need to let me know by 3 o'clock on Saturday.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna make a decision tomorrow. I feel like I'm just going to use it just on the first one.
Well, who is it? Tom was saying in the chat. I asked, is anyone going to use it this week? And he was like, my team, I don't love my team enough to use it. And I was like, you're never going to love your team enough to be confident enough to put your double points week in.
Yeah.
When it will be, you'll put it in because you have to put it in because it's week 15 and you don't give a shit what your team looks like. You just need to use it.
Yeah, and like for you as well, like it's easy if I use it this week because I think 0 is still 0. So I think it'd be good.
Rich, I look forward to seeing if you do use it, but don't feel pressured.
I'm going to use it. I'm putting it in the group chat now.
Being the first doesn't mean it's a good thing.
It always does. First is best.
I think you need to put it. I'm putting this. I'm live on the pod now, and I've said I'm putting it. That's what you need to put in the chat.
Yeah. Okay. I'm doing it.
Oh, Rich is going double points. You are only 123 points behind first place.
It's in the bag, then, isn't it?
Yeah. So when Rich smashes a 240 out on your double points, you just go and win it.
That's it.
Straight up to first place, mate. Straight up to first place. We can find you on the socials at kfantasy_sports and kingfantasysports.com. Doesn't have a TikTok. He's too old and not cool enough, just like me. You can find me on Twitter at Jamie_Byram_ and at seasonlong DFS. And you can find us at www.seasonlongdfs.com. Rich, it's been a pleasure, as it always is. And thank you for sitting up.
I actually didn't sit up the whole time. I actually slouched and adjusted my camera.
Yeah.
I've worked this out.
He's a clever boy, this one.
Yeah.
He's a clever boy. He's a clever boy. Good luck with all your lineups this week, mate.
Thank you, you too.
Especially your season-long DFS one where you're using the wildcard week.
I am using the double up.
Do not screw this up.
That's nice of Tom. Well, you're pretty close to last. Tom, fuck you. It hurts because it's true.
Fighting. There's fighting talk going on, Rich. I expect to see a stern response.
No, I'm just going to say it hurts because it's true.
All right, mate. As I said, pleasure as per normal. I will see you next week for the Main Slate Mashup, GPP, and cash shows again.
Sounds good. Looking forward to it.
Have a good weekend.
You too.
Peace out.